Hello everyone, my name is Nikolai Churkin and let me show you our cyber protection platform today. It is called Acronis Cyber Cloud. It is web-based and our goal is to give you a single entry point to manage all your clients' workloads and to address all their data protection needs. So suppose I'm a service provider like you, I got a client, and the first thing I do is I add a customer group here. I provide the client name. I keep the trial mode. Keeping trial mode will help you save some money because we will not be charging you for 1 full month of usage while still enabling all the features. After 1 full month, the mode will automatically switch to production. Then you select the edition. We have 3 main editions: Standard, Advanced, and Disaster Recovery. Standard contains the core functionality and is suitable for most clients. Office 365 backup for servers, workstations, and virtual machines, cloud storage. All those features are here. For more serious workloads, you may want to use Advanced Edition, like if your client has an Oracle database or SAP HANA. And finally, the Disaster Recovery Edition is all of the above, plus the ability to run any backed up server as a replica in our data center. This is a great tool to ensure business continuity. And of course, all these 3 editions come with the Cyber Protect option, which is what this demo is eventually all about. So Cyber Protect adds protection against malware, hackers, ransomware attacks, malicious websites, all that to the core backup functionality. In addition to the cyber protection, we have 2 more products here in the portal. One is Acronis Files Cloud for file sync and share. Essentially, this is your own OneDrive or Dropbox. You decide where the data will be stored, and your clients decide what sharing options they will have. The next product is Acronis Notary. This is a notarization tool from Acronis. This replaces having to visit an actual notary. The clients upload their files to Acronis, we compute a unique fingerprint and put it to a public blockchain. No one, including us, can modify anything in the blockchain once the data is there. So that's a great way to ensure file authenticity. But we will not be talking much about these 2 services. If you're interested, let me know. We can have a demo another time. Back to cyber protection. You decide which quotas will be available for this client. Feel free to keep unlimited quotas. After all, you don't pay for what you don't use. Or limit, let's say, the number of workstations and the amount of cloud storage with certain values if, for example, you provide this service on a prepaid basis to the client. Right? Next, as the cloud storage, you can choose either the Acronis data center or set up your own storage anywhere you like. We provide the same storage software free of charge that we run in our own data centers, so feel free to be a dedicated cloud storage provider to clients. Additionally, you can allow your clients to get access to this portal themselves. Just provide some email address, we'll send an activation link, and the client will be able to log into this portal to manage the data protection and malware protection. You always retain central access to the client. Finally, there are reports. Whether it's a scheduled report, it will be coming once a month in the beginning of the month, and it will show you your total usage for which you will be invoiced by Acronis and per customer usage, so you know how to invoice your clients. If you need a more detailed report, you can always generate an ad hoc report, for example, for day-by-day usage for a specific client. And there are operations reports. These are essentially dashboards. For example, this one, you can customize it any way you like and have them sent to you every morning as an email. Let's now see cyber protection in action. So you have a list of clients, all in a single console. You drill into one of them, manage service, and the first thing you will see is an overview of cyber protection for that client. The number of threats blocked, malicious websites, activities, everything. You can customize this dashboard any way you like. You have your alerts, if any, you have the latest activities, you have the threat feed. Now the threat feed is maintained by our cyber protection operations centers. We have two on the opposite sides of the globe to provide the latest information about the most actual threats. So for example, malware has been on the rise recently related to the coronavirus outbreak. And we provide the ways to remediate those threats by protecting your systems, by making sure vulnerabilities are assessed, and so on. Now you want to protect your clients' devices, of course, the workloads. You go to devices and you see all of them in a single list. Physical servers, virtual machines, workstations, all of them can be protected centrally. You start protecting them by downloading an agent. So you install it from this file, or you can apply that agent, you can install it throughout your Active Directory or throughout your local network. After the agent is installed, you have your device here on the list and you apply a protection plan to it. We used to call them backup plans. Now they're much more than a simple backup. Backup is just a tiny bit of it. So in fact, a backup is a reactive way to protect the data. In addition to that, we have active and proactive. So when you add a backup plan, you start with a backup, this reactive way. You decide what to back up. You should back up the entire machine. That way you can restore it anywhere. For example, straight to our data center as means of disaster recovery. You decide where to back up, let's say to the cloud storage or to a local destination or both. How often? Once a day or maybe once an hour if you need, or once every 10 minutes. All backups by default are always incremental. That is optimal in terms of both speed and storage. You have your retention, whether you want to store backups according to their age or the number, or keep them indefinitely. It's all up to you. And there's application backup as well. So not only can you restore an entire server, you can restore just a mailbox or a database for it, all from this same backup. It's the most universal backup you can have with Acronis. But also there's continuous data protection. So imagine that you back up the client every day, the server, but also for the most important files like documents you work on during the day, you protect them in real time. As soon as the document changes, it gets synchronized with our cloud. So that's the backup. The next part is the active protection. Let's turn on this. Active protection keeps track of the programs as they run on the device, and as soon as a program tries to modify a file in a suspicious way, like it tries to replace a Word document with some gibberish, we block that program, and we happen to have a cache of recent changes to that file. So even if your backup is old, like it was created yesterday, the file is stored in the cache as it was immediately before the attack. So we quickly revert and you don't lose the data. We protect ourselves because ransomware and malware can try to block us. We protect networks, because a single infected laptop may mean the entire network is compromised. We prevent that from happening. We block crypto mining to prevent them from gaining bitcoins at your expense. And we have full-fledged antivirus that runs according to its schedule, quarantines files, and keeps the system healthy. Now, another type of active protection is URL filtering. We don't allow users to click and visit suspicious websites, malicious websites, phishing websites, and so on. We maintain that list of websites, again, by our cyber protection operation centers. So you turn on this filtering, you stay safe. If your client's server already has some standard tools like Windows Defender or Microsoft Security Essentials, you can control them straight from this interface. Again, the idea is to combine all the possible cyber protection mechanisms here and make sure they work. And the latest part is proactive. So we prevent attacks from happening in the first place by maintaining the system being up to date. We analyze vulnerabilities. We run vulnerability assessment according to the schedule, and we apply patches both to Windows and to third-party applications. And the best part is we do pre-update backup. So an update might be harmful, right? It might break something in the system. So we do a backup, and if the update happens to be harmful, you just restore the data. You save lots of time that would otherwise be spent on trying to reconfigure the system. And finally, we have data protection map. So we know which files are important to you based on their file types, extensions, and we make sure that they all are protected by protection plans, by continuous backups, and so on. And you also see this protection plan back on the dashboard. So now let me show you some of these features in action. So I have a machine where I will test something. And the first thing I'm going to test is URL filtering. So this website is supposed to be malicious, and it opens on my laptop from which I'm presenting because active protection is not turned on here. But now let's see how it works on the other website, or other server rather. So this server is protected, and I'm trying to visit the same page, and now it's blocked. And when I go back to the console, you will see for this machine, let me find it here on the list. So for this machine, there's a status about suspicious URL. You will find it in the alerts. I tried to visit this webpage. The next thing I wanted to show is the actual ransomware. I mean, it's not actual, it's imitation, but it uses the same techniques as real ransomware. And so I have these sites, these files, the documents. They contain some important information for your client, right? And now this is the ransomware. So when I run it, it will try to encrypt all those files, and our active protection mechanism will restore them. So I'm running this ransomware. It tries to encrypt the files. They will be replaced by something, I need your money, and immediately reverted. I think this process is as fast as it can be, and it's that fast that I will only see the notification if I go back to alerts. Now there's suspicious activity detected with these files, and they were immediately reverted. So if I go back to this machine and open them, right, they're still intact. So that's a very quick and reliable way to protect the data in real time. What else do we have? So we try to make this solution for you such that it's not only backup, it's not only malware protection, but it's also a convenient tool to manage your client's workloads remotely. We have a client, RDP, remote desktop, available straight from the browser. And so I will connect to it. It uses the same protocol as RDP. My current session is closed, the one I was showing you for the ransomware bit. But you see that this is the same machine now available straight from the browser. This ransomware thing and the URL and so on. You can manage it from here, and the best part, it doesn't need to be available from the outside. It can still be inside the corporate network as long as it has the agent running. You can access it remotely. So besides this, of course, we have the quarantine and whitelists. All those files that we block are available. All those patches that we offer are here. You decide whether to apply them, and then they will be installed according to the schedule. There are vulnerabilities not only for Windows but also for browsers and other tools, and the machines they apply to, and the ability to patch them. And finally, you don't need to travel or use some fancy tools to update our agents. As long as the agent is running, just go here, select the agent with a warning sign, meaning it has an update, and update it remotely. It's as easy as that. Now let us talk a bit more about the console itself. Some of these I already discussed. So you have an overview of who has what of your clients. There's an operations dashboard to show you the latest on the cyber protection for the clients overall and for a particular client. There are actually clients on a single list here. There are users, so you can add your colleagues as administrators here as well. There are reports about usage coming every month, about operations coming, let's say, every morning, based on what you specify, all those activities. There's audit log that shows who did what, be it logging into the service, sending an email, and so on. And now the best part. And the best part is, feel free to make this solution completely your own. Just rename it, change the colors, change the logo, change the email servers from which your clients will be receiving notifications. You can even change this URL. So just let us know which URL you want, like backup.example.com, something, and we customize it for you. The console remains in our data center, but it's completely customizable. There's locations. So be your own cloud provider to your clients. So if, for example, your clients are in, San Marino and they want the data to remain within the country, you can install your storage there, and this way you stand out among your competitors by offering the storage in the country. Others can only offer the storage abroad. There are integration options. So if you already have some RMM, remote management and monitoring, PSA, professional service automation tool, you can integrate the product with that. For example, you provide services through WHMCS. People buy Office 365, virtual machine, you name it. Through that portal, you just add another component and they can sign up for Acronis. Automatically an account is created on our end and you bill them in the regular way. Of course, there are security options. There's two-factor authentication, meaning that users will have to set up a second factor by means of Google Authenticator, Microsoft Authenticator, or any other standard app like this, which will, of course, increase security. And for anything else, you have our professional services, and you have the API, publicly available API. You register your API client here, and you can find the reference on the Acronis developers portal, including the API documentation, coding samples, and so on. So this is the console that we give you. Feel free to use it. Feel free to add as many customers as you need to offer cyber protection.